Welcome back. It's Saturday, August 8th. Manga market analysis, and there was some huge sales last week. Like, I had that breaking news one, and those are still the tops. But in the Japanese BGS market for graded manga, I just want to show you like the top 5 of all time here. And I can't count that Berserk 9.8 because we don't know how much somebody paid for that yet. The second one actually went this week as well. And that's the One Piece Volume 1 and a BGS 9.4. That was $28,000. The number 3 is an Akira. We looked at that one before. BGS 9.4, 25 grand. Tetsuo Atom, Astro Boy, sold at Golden by auction, 23,180. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, 9.4, 22,500. Heritage, and a Berserk in a 9 that went for 21,960. This one went way back in May. So if a 9.0 Berserk can go for like almost 22K, what does a 9.8 Berserk, the only 9.8 in existence currently on BGS, one of a kind right now, confidential price, like honestly, that's a tough call. I can go, it might have went for 100K, it might have went for 40K, hard to say. It just depends on how much firstprint.net was willing to take for that one, but they made a ton of cash on that sale. I'm sure they did. So anyway, let's get into our top 10 Japanese graded for the week. Number 1, even though I don't have a price, we all know it's that BGS 9.8 Berserk. What's interesting is the dust jacket was only a 7.0, but the book itself was a 9.8, so that might have affected it a little bit. But the number 2, as I already mentioned, was that One Piece BGS 9.4 Volume 1 first print. They took 28 grand, which is still huge. I mean, that's crazy. So, but then again, there aren't that many 9.4s of a One Piece Volume 1 out there first printing. Number 3, Naruto Volume 1 BGS 9.0 was asking $14,000. They took $8,000. Now, I want you to pay attention to this one. BGS 9, 8 grand. Naruto Volume 1. Okay, so let's go to number 4. BGS 9.8 with a dust jacket 9.6. Demon Slayer Volume 1 first print, 7,900. And actually, they took 75 for that one. Pretty close to asking. Now, here's the reason I was asking you to pay attention to that Naruto. So this is basically the same book in a higher grade. So this is a BGS 9.2 instead of a BGS 9, and they only got 7 grand for it, as opposed to the 9, which went for 8 grand. So that's a difference of $1,000. What's the big difference? It's the obi. Interesting. So still too early to say like how much is an obi truly worth, but yeah, it's worth something. Here's another BGS 9.8 Demon Slayer. This one only went for 6,900, and we just had one go for 7,500. So and this one actually didn't go for 69. They took 6,300. So definitely a lot less. Both have obi. The funny thing is on this, they both went on the same day. Who knows? That is strange, right? The only difference being one had a dust jacket 9.4, the other one's a 9.6. I don't think that's going to make a difference of like $1,200, but I think timing probably had to do something with that. Here's another one that went from firstprint.net. This is Full Metal Alchemist, BGS 9.6, 6 grand. No obi, but that's a really high grade for Full Metal Alchemist. Okay, One Piece Volume 1, again, this time by auction with 53 bids, 4,350. This was a BGS 8.5. And again, it's funny, like in the same week, we're seeing different prices for the same thing. A BGS 8.5, One Piece Volume 1, basically same book, again by auction, 45 bids, $3,851. That one came in at number actually 9 this week. If you're looking at the list, this one's kind of deceptive because if you just look at the screenshot without looking at the listing on the firstprint.net app, they had Bleach volume 42 in a 9.6 with Obi going for $38.50. That's not exactly true. This is actually 2 books. This is a Bleach 42, yes, and a BGS 9.6, but it's also a Bleach 54 in a 9.8. So I really don't count that as one book, so it's not my number 10. My number 10 is actually Kagurabachi, and in a BGS 9.8 with Obi, went for $3,200. Okay, I'm back. It's your scruffy host here. We're going to get into the English manga. I'm just going to blast through a lot. I could do a top 10 of English, but I kind of like showing what goes for money. There's something like Umi Neko, we know that goes for money. So I don't need to show that every week. I just like to get a nice variety of English manga. So let's start, shall we? First, I want to show some cool stuff. This is actually the BGS graded English first print manga that I'm starting to see more and more now. This is Bleach Volume 1 in a BGS 8.5, went for $600. This one's a little cheaper, but then again, it is newer. BGS 8.5 Demon Slayer Volume 1, $250. This is kind of interesting because it's a Books A Million exclusive. It's a Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 30. It is a BGS 9.8, and it went for $300. Mob Psycho 100 Volume 1, first print, BGS 9.4. They were asking $450. It went for $375. This one kind of surprised me because it's a later volume of One Piece. It's One Piece 111 English first print. Yeah, it's a BGS 9.8, but $750? Really? Wow, that's pretty impressive for a fairly new volume. And finally, although it's not technically a tankobon, it's not. It's Shonen Jump Volume 1 from 2003, BGS 8.5, which is a really good grade for back then, $1,100. Okay, now we're going to get into a section I like to call my naughty manga. Like I said, I could almost make a video. I tried to limit it. There was a lot of sales out of the UK for some strange reason this week for that kind of manga. Like, for example, we had Day In, Day Out from FAKKU. This one only went for £119, which is about $161 US. I've had this one before. This is Fisherman's Lodge by Gengaro Tagami. This time it was up for auction, went for $150. And finally, the big one. This is School of Net, £240, pretty close to $324 US, give or take. So this is a big sale, actually. Okay, with that out of the way, I'm just going to blast through like a lot of English sales. This is Air Gear Volume 26, $200. And if you think only the individual volumes of Air Gear are worth money, this is Air Gear Omnibus Volume 4. It is sealed, $200 as well. Blackjack Volume 15 was asking $600. Actually took $590. Blackjack 15 is always one of the big value English manga books. The Gray Man, Volume 25, $180. Nice to see some Digimon on here. So this is Digimon Tamers, Volume 4, went for $150. It's rare to see a Volume 1 go for this much money, but this is Heavenly Delusion, Volume 1, went for $100. Haven't seen this one for a while. This is Satalia, Axis Powers, Volume 5, $125. An oldie but a goodie, Mobile Suit Gundam's Char's Counterattack, Belcher Chica's Children, Volume 1 English, went for $230. Mushoku Tensei, Jobless Reincarnation, Volume 11. This is actually the manga, went for $165. One Piece, Volume 17. This is the gold foil, first printing, $280. Reborn as a Space Mercenary, Volume 4, $150. I always see these volumes go for good money, but not quite good enough to usually make the list, but I wanted to put them on this time. This is Rise of the Outlaw Tamer and his S-Rank Cat Girl. This is volumes 1 and 2. They went for $166.25. This one's kind of new for me. I hadn't seen this one before, but this is The Betrayal Knows My Name, volume 7, $142.50. I see a lot of the Vampire Hunter D light novels go for really good money. This is actually the manga of volume 4, $110. And finally, Zatch Bell, volume 24, $150. So that's basically it. Sorry for the big blast of English manga, but yeah, big week actually. It's crazy. Interesting to see what happens. I really want to know how much that Berserk went for, though. That's killing me. So, anyways, we'll see what happens there, and could it be $100,000 sale? We'll find out one way or another. Anyways, talk to you later. See you again. Bye bye.